a new book I started, Jocko Winks, however you say it, Extreme Ownership. And we're also going to do a little bit more talking about this, however you say it, Shefgut, whatever, Shefakut, sharpening system. Yeah, that's what's going on. So, thank you for joining me tonight here live from the Ozarks of Missouri. I am Patrick Rorman with MT Knives, and I make and sell knives, sharpen knives, teach people how to sharpen knives, and yeah, do all that kind of stuff. So, if you're new here, thank you for joining in. Um, so, last week, my phone battery died. This week, we should have plenty of battery, but we'll see. Last week, I used this sharpening system that I got sent and was testing it out and had pretty good results with it. So we're going to follow up from that and just kind of go from there. But we have a lot of stuff going on between the homestead. My wife makes soap. I make knives. We homeschool our 9 of our 10 children here. Well, I guess they're not all children anymore. We got some adults. We got some. We got a wide variety of ages, from 4 on up to mid-20s. So we homeschool, make soap, make knives, and my wife also has some puppies, some dogs, some corgis, and they recently had a litter of pups, so we'll have some pups available for sale. You can find all that kind of stuff over at Roar Tribe. She's got a YouTube channel, and there's some page for the corgis too, or something or another. But yeah. So last week, when I was sharpening this knife, I was curious. I sharpened probably for an hour on this stone or more. I was curious just how much, if any, dishing occurred. And you guys probably can't see it, but there was a little bit of dishing. Not a ton. But that's something you're going to run into with most sharpening stones, oil stones, water stones. All of them are going to require some maintenance, other than like diamonds on a embedded diamond surface. It really doesn't bother me a whole lot to have to flatten or maintain stones, but it is something that you have to take into consideration. Shalom. Hey, Viking Preparedness. Thanks for dropping in. So, yeah, so there's that to think of. What else? So for whatever reason, this digital angle guide they sent with the kit, I wasn't too impressed with. It didn't seem to work properly. So I have just Amazon special, whatever here. And I tested the angle. I tested this angle with that kitchen knife from last week, and what was it, 14 degrees?
14.
I think it was 14 degrees. So that's pretty low, especially for a cheap knife. But I would probably raise it up for that. But turn this back around. I'm actually going to use this. Also, I looked over the instructions some more, and there is a way to set this up for countertop use versus using it in a sink. And I didn't convert it, but it seems to work all right. Basically, what it's going to do is going to lock the system so you can tighten down on the stone, but most of the time I don't feel like you should need the stone clamped down tight, although it would probably help a little bit. I didn't pre-soak the stone either. So, what else? We have some dairy cows. We have chickens, goats, dairy cows, ducks, or a duck. Had some ducks. Now we're down to one. And our dairy cows calved. We have two baby bull calves, and so we've been bottle feeding. Speaking of which, I picked up some milk replacer.
Thank you.
So yeah, we've been busy taking care of things on the farm and then projects around here. Excuse me. I went and got some hay today, and me and hay does not get along. So, get the stone soaking. What else? So yeah, we had a calf last week. When was that?
2 in the last 2 weeks.
We had two calves in here in the last 2 weeks. Thankful for them, even though I was really hoping to have a heifer cow.
Mm-hmm.
Heifer. So a heifer is a female calf, and then they become a cow after they have their first calf, correct?
Yeah, but they're all cows too.
Yeah, they're all cows, whatever.
But yeah.
Give my neck knife a little touch up here. As far as this stone goes, it's I said last week, I almost wish I had something a little more aggressive than the 1,000. But it's aggressive enough. It's just going to take time. Grit progression is something that is kind of my opinion has changed over the years. I always recommend it 1,000 grit and a 6,000 grit stone. My opinion hasn't changed too much. Basically, my opinion is as such. If your knife needs a ton of work, then you probably shouldn't sharpen it on stones. I say that with the caveat of it's just going to take you a lot of time. And if you're starting out trying to learn how to sharpen knives, I recommend not starting out with a knife that needs a ton of work. It'd be like, give yourself baby steps, goals that you can accomplish, and don't set yourself up for failure. So if you have a knife that needs a lot of work, I'd recommend sending it off, get it professionally sharpened, and then just maintain that edge. If you're going to be sharpening a lot of knives that need a lot of work, then I would suggest getting some sort of mechanized sharpener, because sharpening by stones, or have some really aggressive diamond grit stones or something like that. So 1,000 grit is good for light removal and maintenance. And also, you can get down a whole rabbit hole of, we're not always comparing apples to apples. All 1,000 grit stones are not the same. You got Japanese grit. You got there's all these different standards of measuring microns. The Japanese grit, then the sandpaper, whatever that is, P 120, 220, and all the numbers. It's kind of like Celsius and Fahrenheit. They don't jive. So there's charts online that you can kind of see. But then also, too, like Outdoor 55 talked recently, the grit size is one thing. How the grit is bonded or stuck in the stone is another. So two of the same grit sizes could cut differently based on what's the word I'm looking for? However they're bonded. So let's see. How's your weather? we had lots and lots and lots of rain. This week looks to be dry, which is good, but it's going to be one of those deals where it's going to be real dry real quick, and it's like we could just use a little bit of rain, but we'll take what we get.
Robert said I have almost as many stones as I do knives. It's a money pit.
Me too. Me too. I have more stones. Yeah,
More stones than personal.
I have. But part of it is I feel like I can't give a recommendation on something if I haven't used it, and so I've bought a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have otherwise bought, other than just to be able to have a opinion and give a reference on it. So I'm looking forward to getting some people who have not sharpened on this system, kind of see how they do. So anyways, I don't read a lot. Well, I guess I don't read a lot, but I do read. But you know how you'll always hear people recommend books and this and that. And my opinion with reading is I don't read the good book enough, and I feel like all wisdom, knowledge can be obtained through the good book. So why would I spend time reading other stuff that, is less valuable? But however, I say that I've read some books, and mostly I listen to audiobooks because I can do it when I'm driving or I can do it when I'm working. And I've heard a lot about this Jocko. I don't know how you say it. Is it Wink? Anyways,
I don't know his last name at all.
Wilco, Jocko Wink. I don't remember what his last name is, but I think he's a Navy SEAL commander, yada yada. Anyways, he's got a book called Extreme Ownership, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. And I decided to buy it on Audible the other day and started listening to it. And so far, it's been pretty good. And really, honestly, like, I've more bought it because I think it'll be good for my sons. The fun thing being a father is sometimes your children will receive messages that are coming from outside a little better than they will from the old man. So we'll see. Anyways, extreme ownership. And it's kind of, too, whenever I listen to something like that, it's I think it's easy for a lot of people just to take whatever they hear and be like, oh, I agree with that. And a lot of times when I'm learning something new, I'll ask myself, like, that sounds good, but is that really the case? And especially something, where like he's on about extreme ownership, the leader basically taking the ownership of, everything that goes wrong. And it's interesting because being a journeyman lineman, it's a dangerous job, and there has to be good communication. There has to be, basically anytime there's a problem, typically it's not just one thing that went wrong. Typically, it's multitudes of things went wrong to have an accident. And so, but also too, I've seen in line work, I've seen where people didn't want to take ownership for their mistakes or their actions. And you get linemen or people, and this goes for anything, but you get people that won't take credit, even partial credit, for anything, and they think that they're incapable of making mistakes. And yeah, so accountability, learning to take responsibility for your actions and your, just a lot of things, like where you're at in life. Asking yourself the tough questions of like, hey, why am I in the situation I'm in? And sure, there's things that could contribute to you being there, but like I like to say, at some point in time, you're an adult, and the way that you was raised, the things that happened to you, they're all in the past, and you have to take ownership for where you're at and where you're going to go forward. So anyways, it'll be a good listen. I'm on like chapter 3 right now. If you guys have read the book, leave some comments about what you think. If you haven't read it, maybe you want to pick it up and give it a read. But so anyways, all right, let's see. Sharpened up my knife. I was going to do something else. Oh, we talked about the angle cube. Oh, I need to respond to somebody asked me about angles. Oh, my wife wants her knife sharpened. The Talon. So take care of Mama's knife. 1,000. Did I do that backwards? I might have totally messed my knife up. 400. Ah, I did. I think I did. I think I might have sharpened mine on 400 before I stropped it. Maybe not. I'll have to go back and rewatch the video. Nah, I didn't do that. I would have known.
It was prettier to begin with.
I hate the sound of the gritty. So, yeah, how are your guys' week going? So,
Robert Jones said, do you like a polished edge or toothy edge?
toothy. Polished. It's fun to do sometimes, but I much prefer a toothy edge.
He agrees.
Good.
I mean, I assume. He said, my dude.
Yeah, there could be all sorts of inflection in that. Could be like, my dude.
Why?
Text is such a great form of communication.
He said polished on the safe queens and toothy on the users.
Somebody asked me one time, what do you do with the $800 knife? I said, use it.
That stuff?
That's like, I don't think I would ever own a vehicle or I'm not saying, yeah, pretty much. I don't know that I would ever own something that I wasn't going to use. I say that, but at least once. It's like if I had a sports car, I'd definitely go put it through its paces. Then I probably wouldn't have a sports car. No. Yeah, I don't like that 400 grit. I gotta say, the cheap little spray bottle works pretty good. I like my other spray bottle better, but I'm using the kit with what it came with, so their angle cube is lousy, or at least the one that I got.
It was measuring like 25 or something's big.
Yeah, and it was,
Or 18. I don't know. It was much bigger.
it was getting all sorts of readings.
Robert said the only knives I don't use are my old Benchmade Emerson Spec Wars. I do have one that I use, but the unused ones are investment pieces.
Emerson. You got a Sabenza? I'd like to get a Sabenza one day, maybe. I don't. There's not too many. There's not. There's a couple knives I wouldn't mind having, but my knife collection is, it's not huge. But I like to collect knives from people who a lot of times who I've learned from or who I like their work. There's a couple makers that I would love to get one of their knives. One of which is, now his name just slipped my mind, Nick Wheeler. Nick Wheeler makes these really cool Bowie knives, and I'd love to have one of his. He's a guy that really, pours his heart and soul into what he makes and just really does a nice job.
He said Chris Reeve makes Sabenzas, but it's on the list.
Yeah. I was hoping to get some of my limited edition knives done last week, but just worked on a bunch of handles for the Genesis. Had some problems with my CNC. Then I don't remember what happened. The week got away from me, and
Put up more walls.
oh yeah. Then I've been working on our house, which that's like, now that it's getting really hot, I'm going to try to get a bunch of insulation up. We got some insulation up, but we still have a lot more to get up, so have to do some framing on some windows and some doors. So I think tomorrow morning I'm going to try to get a bunch of insulation done. Hopefully help it stay a little cooler in here. We got a mini split installed, what was it, a month ago? And so the mini split's running, but without insulation, it's not keeping up during the day. So that's what's on the agenda tomorrow morning. If you guys have any knives you'd like sharpened, shoot me a message and maybe I'll start doing some sharpening on Tuesday of knives that have been sent in. That's probably You're just gonna be mean to it right away.
I'm not mean to it.
Oh yeah, that's sharp.
They can message you on Facebook, Instagram, or Patrick Lindsay.
Yep. You can send me a DM on Instagram or message me on Facebook. Try not to message my business page on Facebook. Oh, I hate that. Or send me an email, patrick@mtknives.net. Anyways, let's see. Anything else? I'm going to get this, give this sharpener some more run rounds. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions, you guys? Let's see. So, yeah, I made a bunch of rosewood handles last week. I ordered some new bandsaw blades, got my bandsaw set up, and I started cutting up some Osage that I have. I might end up machining some more Osage scales because I got some people that want them. Oh, that's what it was. It wasted a lot of time last week. In the past, I've done some smooth handles for the Genesis, and I had to rewrite that file, and then that didn't go so well. I got some people waiting for some smooth handles, and yeah, that was a big frustration last week. Still haven't figured out, but I mean, it's easy to spend an entire day trying to get all that stuff worked out. So, and then I ran out of hardware. I can't order my hardware. The titanium screws that I was using on those knives, I can't get any more. So I ordered in some stainless steel screws, and I'm going to give them a go. I like the titanium, although they are very expensive, but I'm not able to get them anymore. And so then if I change screws, I might have to change the handle design. So whatever. Yeah, that's what I worked on a lot of last week. Get those on the site. Some of those textured rosewood ones are on the site. Anyways, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. This has been Patrick with MT Knives. You guys have a great night.